What is up, friends? My name is Laura. If you've never visited my YouTube channel before, welcome. I am currently in Chaing Mai, Thailand, which is northern Thailand. I'm actually going to be heading 2 more hours north right now. I'm gonna bring you along on my entire day. This is one of the coolest things to do when you're in Chaing Mai. So I'm gonna be heading north, like I said, on an actual tour. I'm gonna stick the name here of the national park because I don't know how to actually correctly say it. But within this tour, it's gonna be about 9 hours, so it's a long day, 2 hours each way. But I'm gonna be climbing the tallest peak in Thailand and then doing the national park and like the iconic sites there, and then 2 waterfall hikes. So come on with me. I will bring you through this entire day. Like I said, this is a very traditional thing to do. It's about $49 US for the entire day, and that also includes lunch. If you're like me and like climbing the tallest peak in a country that you're in, this one would be perfect for you. It's not even a very difficult climb from what I read. So it's about a little over 8,000 feet in elevation total. So come with me, I will bring you through, and at the end of the video, I will kind of give you a little bit of tips as to what to expect throughout this entire tour. All right, so they picked me up right on time. We were in a nice air-conditioned van. I booked this just online a few days prior. They actually stopped about 30 minutes within that drive. Every single bus was stopped at the same place, but it gave you a lot of different options for breakfast places or some snacks if you want to pick them up. As soon as we entered the national park, which was around 300 baht per person, but if you are doing it with a guide, that's included. But we got to this really beautiful waterfall. I am so excited to show you this. It is so cool that there's a rainbow there. Look at that. Beautiful waterfall. This waterfall is only like a 5-minute walk from the car, so super nice, but quite crowded, but it's so beautiful, and you can see the rainbow there, so highly recommend this quick stop just within the national park here. I don't know if this would be 100% true or not, but basically all of the buses get to this waterfall at the same time because this is the first place that they will all stop within this tour. So if you want a little fewer people at the waterfall and you are going by yourself, definitely go like in the afternoon, and I actually think there will be very few people here. We just did a quick stop at these beautiful temples. Ooh, where's that one? We'll be here for about 30 minutes, and then we'll actually officially start the trek to the highest peak in Thailand. This part was super touristy. If you Google what to do in Chaing Mai, this will for sure come up. There were so many beautiful flowers. Like I'm saying though, it was quite crowded, but it was just fun to kind of walk around and see the different temples for about 2 hours. We then drove to the trailhead, which was super cool. It was cool to be at the tallest peak. Honestly, was not a huge hike or anything like that, but it was fun to get it in. We then drove back down about 10 minutes and still in elevation, but you're going to go on about a 2-hour hike. It's a loop, so you're always seeing really cool new things. You got to see this waterfall, as you see. You got to get these beautiful, beautiful views. I think that I highly recommend this part. It was just really fun. It definitely was steep, but I would still rate it as moderate. But do know that there's quite a bit of elevation gain. It was about 3 p.m. so I was starving, but they brought us to this nice little area and it was more of a buffet style, which was delicious, and I actually really enjoyed the lunch. All right, I am back now and wanted to give a quick overview because I felt like going into the day I was confused, throughout the day I was confused, but now I have clarity. So like I said, it was about a 2-hour drive to the actual start of the location. That is where you see like the famous view. I definitely would say there was way more fog and it wasn't as, I would say those pictures are fairly saturated, but it honestly was still super cool. If you have no interest in hiking, I know that that's just like a cool day trip that you also can do. There's a cafe there. There even was elevators up to the temples if you didn't want to take the stairs. So it's super just like every fitness level friendly for that part. From there, you do kind of take another van and go up about 10 more minutes. You're at the tallest peak. It's just a very short little walk around, but it is cool to go to another tall peak. Make sure you bring water, especially if you're not used to any altitude, because it's almost 9,000 feet of elevation. So just keep in mind, the tallest peak is not a huge hike by any means. When it came to the 2-hour hike, I think this is where people get confused with the 2-hour hike being the tallest peak. It definitely is not. So from there, you're gonna take about a 20-minute back down in your little van with your group, and you're gonna go with official tour guides. So if you were to do this part by yourself, this has a 400 local currency fee, but of course if you're doing like a tour that normally will be included in that, that is roughly around 12 US dollars. And then you will go with a local guide. You have to do that, like I'm saying, but of course you're supporting the local community there and they will bring you around. It honestly took us a little under an hour and a half, about a quarter of the way in. It's very steep the first quarter, but it is super beautiful that first quarter. You kind of are going through some beautiful rainforest type areas, and then you come to this amazing view, which is really cool. And then it's quite windy, so make sure you bring layers. It's a lot colder than you'd think when you're in the rest of Thailand. And then you're kind of gonna go along kind of a little bit of a ledge with a really pretty view, but a lot of it is kind of up down, so make sure that you know that it's more of a moderate, it's definitely not an easy hike. From there, as you were able to see, we headed and had a really good lunch. Honestly, of any of the tours, this was my favorite lunch. It was just really good, but also I was really hungry. From there, we went and saw a few markets, and then they did the 2-hour drive back to Chaing Mai. At that point, I was ready for the day to be over. It ends up being a long day, but totally recommend. If you do have any questions, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you soon. Keep living life. Bye.